What is up, my people? It's your girl Melly back again. I'm back this week with another review of The Real Housewives of Potomac season 6, and this is episode 2, titled Sing Sing for Your Supper. And I'll read the episode review that they have online for it. It says, on episode 2, the rift between frenemies Giselle and Karen grows deeper, and unexpected sides are taken. Wendy announces a drastic new career change, and Ashley prepares for the arrival of her new baby, but worries about keeping Michael happy in the process. Meanwhile, Karen invites all the ladies to her love lunch in hopes of healing, but instead it ends up being quite revealing, which it does, honey. So I'm not gonna do this review how I did it last time because it took forever and it was a long video that I did not know or expect to be that long. I kind of hate myself for doing that. But I want to do a little bit different, so I ended up just taking notes that I'll be reading here, but I have like 3 pages of notes. I'm really hoping it's not gonna be that long, y'all. I'm gonna try to zoom through all of this, okay? I don't want it to be like a 50-minute video because that's basically as long as the dang TV show. And if it's gonna be that, honey, let me get a show, let me get a little checkup. You feel me? But no, this is just a review. So Sing Sing for Your Supper. It starts off a continuation scene of the dinner scene from last episode. The girls are sitting here questioning, like, what the hell is Sing Sing? What does that mean? They're not really sure. And Karen brings up a time where she felt like Giselle kind of wished death on Ray. It was in a it was a flashback where Ray kind of pulled Giselle aside and told her, you know, you're a beautiful woman, but you know, the way you're acting, you know, it's not going to last forever. Being beautiful is not enough for a relationship or something like that. And in her confessional, Giselle was saying, oh, you know, Ray will be dead 6 feet under before anything like that happens, like, you know, referring to like her beauty fading, you know, before she needs a man or whatever. Karen obviously saw that, and ever since then she kind of felt like Giselle wished death on Ray, which I feel like is a bit of a stretch. I really don't think she was saying, yo, Ray about to die or something. Like, she was just saying, oh, honey, the beauty's gonna be here forever to get a man, you know, whatever. But Karen took that as, you wish death on my husband. So she's always kind of felt a little rift with Giselle since then, which is news because we kind of didn't know where it all started from. But she said, you know, that kind of was a little bit too far for her taste and too far for, you know, the sparring that those two kind of have back and forth. Karen said that was a little bit too far. Robin shades Wendy for kind of sticking up for Karen. The girls question Robin about when she'll get married, you know, because it still ain't happened. She's talking about after the pandemic. Honey, we all still waiting for after the pandemic, so never. And Wendy finally confesses to getting her booty done, child. She finally lets them know she got that round thing in the back done up, as everybody already freaking knew. Then they have a little titty toast. I thought it was so cute with a little nipple cupcake. She makes the girls kind of lick them and suck them a little bit before they eat it. I just thought that was kind of funny. Wendy's always doing some weird stuff with her friends. And Wendy kind of takes note of how Mia's loyalty to Karen kind of wavered a little bit when the girls were going back and forth, and Mia kind of stuck up for Giselle, saying that Giselle had a good heart, and you know, she's a good reader character, and she feels like Giselle has a good heart. Wendy kind of, you know, oh, but I thought Karen was your friend. Wouldn't you stick up for your friend that you actually know more than this person you just met? Which I felt like was really kind of childish. Like, Wendy, girl, she can still have her friends back and also say that, you know, someone may still have a good heart. Like, I just thought that was kind of immature on Wendy's part. I didn't like that. Anyway, the next scene is at Mia's house. We just see some of her nice, beautiful penthouse that she has on the harbor with her husband. She kind of discloses that she has 2 younger kids by her current husband, and her oldest son is from a previous relationship, which is cool. Her husband Gordon is now a house husband, but they have about 14 businesses, she said, together, so it's not like he's sitting here broke. But he wanted to spend more time with his children after working for so many years, being out the house so many years. He wanted to spend time with his kids, so now he's doing that instead, which I think is a beautiful thing. Black men need to be more involved with their children's lives, so I love it when they actually put their children as priority. I thought that was beautiful. And he kind of got a little attitude with Mia about taking a business call while she and the daughter were trying to make cupcakes. The little girl had a little tantrum about the mama not paying attention while she was trying to make these cupcakes. So he felt a little way about it. After that scene, we switched to Candace, and she's shooting a pilot for a show. She's saying that she wants to be taken more seriously as an actress, which I think is pretty cool because, I mean, why just stop at, you know, selling hair? I believe that's what she used to do. Why just stop there? Go ahead and be a songstress, an actress, do whatever, be a triple threat, honey. And the role that she's playing now, she says that it's a stepmom, which kind of is parallel to her real life, being the stepmom to her bonus children, Chris's kids. So she found it interesting that the art that she's in now is imitating her real life, which is like, yeah, art imitates life. That's the way it goes. She's feeling a little bit of stress because now she has to balance getting her MBA at Howard, her new acting career, and also her singing career, which Chris has now become the manager of her singing career, which I think is, I don't know how to feel about it, because it's like once you get, you know, a family member or a close loved one into a position of kind of power over you, I don't really know. Those usually just don't work out well. So I'm kind of interested to see how that'll go. Chris is saying that he doesn't manage Candace's music career. He just manages Candace, which is kind of like when she's doing music though. So you do manage her music career. You feel me? But you know, they're just saying they manage each other. But I feel like it's really gonna be an extra layer of stress having your husband be your manager. But we'll see how that ends up. And you know, because she FaceTimed him and let him know how it was going on set, and he was letting her know, like, you know, you still got to fit in some time to record your album, and we still got work to do on that. So he was kind of getting on her about that. Then we switched to Ashley's house, and her mom. She comes over to visit, hanging around with the little son, Dean. Ashley kind of lets her mom know, you know, they're just chit-chatting, catching up, that, you know, she wants Michael home more. But, you know, Ashley and Michael have a nanny that comes and helps her with Dean when, you know, because she's pregnant, helps her with Dean a bit, but she still would rather have her husband. And Ashley also talks to her mother about managing sex with Michael, which is kind of weird, but, you know, she says she's still got a sex drive, but it's kind of uncomfortable with her big belly. So she kind of got to get a little creative with how she pleases her man. But she's saying that Michael is pleasing her, she's pleasing him, she doesn't want any more mishaps, you know, so she's doing what she can to keep her man satisfied, which good on you, girl, because I don't know why men feel like once their woman is pregnant and is uncomfortable to have sex with, that means that they could just go have sex with anybody. But whatever, she's keeping her man satisfied for now, so I'm glad to hear that, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really like Michael. I don't really like Ashley or Michael, so their whole marriage relationship is kind of just like whatever to me. Sorry to say. Then we switch over to Giselle, and her bestie Robin comes over to a visit. Giselle gives her a tour of her West Wing home. It really does look beautiful on the inside. I'm really surprised because, like, there were some clips last season where, you know, as it was still being built, it was looking a little like, what the hell is she got going on? But it actually came out looking really nice. Robin said, you know, that's beautiful inside, but the outside is kind of ratchet because, like, it looked like a house, and then Giselle's West Wing, her part of the house is kind of looking like a house attached to a house. It just doesn't look like one cohesive thing. It looks like a house attached to a house, you know. So she brought that up. Robin and Giselle discussed Giselle's relationship with Jamal and how it's still very long distance. She's pretty unhappy with it. She again feels like she needs a man who lives right down the street from her, not somebody who lives states away, which is totally understandable. No one wants to really be in a long distance relationship. I mean, quarantine was hard, being alone, and you really want to be up under your man, and he states away doing God knows what. So there's that. They end up calling Candace to fill her in on Wendy's party since she wasn't there. She didn't show up. Robin actually notices or makes note of to Candace and Giselle that Wendy didn't cop to her BBL until Mia started saying everything that she had done. You know, even though Wendy was just like, you know, when Mia at the table was saying, oh, I got this, and this done, she's like, I didn't get all of that. You know, kind of pushing it off like she didn't do too much. but then later reveals that she did indeed get her butt done. So Robin, just trying to be messy, makes a note of that. So Giselle and Robin also talk about Karen and how Karen seems to shade them a lot on their men, Juan and Jamal. But it's like she's in a standing marriage with her husband for over 20 years and y'all are not. So she kind of has a little bit of room. A little bit. I'm not saying, she got all right to just talk crazy, but she got a little bit of room to kind of say something like, y'all are not married, and she is. So I just felt like they were just being really immature. I don't like that. Like, girls, calm down. So since they brought up Karen, we switched to a scene with Karen. She's talking to Ray about Wendy's party and the argument that she got into with Giselle. She feels bad about some of the things that she was saying. Obviously Karen still loves Giselle, but she notices that their relationship has been in turmoil for a minute. But she does feel bad, so she wants to throw a love lunch party to kind of put away and do away with all the hatred and the meanness and the shade and try to bring in some love between each other. She wants all the ladies to bring their husbands in and kind of just recreate this like bond that they all have between them. So after that, we switch to a scene of Wendy at her home. Wendy's sister, brother, and mother show up. Her sister Ivy, her mom Susan, and her brother Jordan. I didn't know she had a brother, but they all come to visit and hang out. Wendy has made them a plate of beautiful Nigerian food that she says she doesn't get to eat that often because her friends don't really like that, so she loves when she gets to cook Nigerian food. The mom, Susan, discloses that she wants a boob job and she wants the family to pay for it by December. I'm like, okay, mama, you go ahead and make your request. We'll see what that Christmas present is looking like, honey. But anyway, going forward, Wendy discloses to her family that she wants to start a home improvement line, which end up being candles. She wants to start a little candle line, a Nigerian candle line, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I don't see too many Nigerian candles out there, so I mean, I'm sure there's a market for it, which is pretty awesome. Surprisingly, the mother is really supportive of it, and it turns out that her husband is really not super supportive of it, which is again surprising because the mom really wanted Wendy to stay a doctor and have high status in society. Now that she just wants to be the owner of a candle line, it's not as prestigious as a professor at whatever. So it was shocking that the mom was pretty supportive and the husband kind of wasn't. So then we move to Ashley, and we're at Ashley's home. She's talking on the phone with her doula Emily about her placenta. It sounds like she wants to do things that involve the placenta after the baby's born. I'm not sure if she wants to eat it, but that's something that Karen did eventually say something about. But she wants to do something with her placenta after she gives birth to the baby. So Karen comes over to visit. She formally, in person gives Ashley the party invitation, lets her know that she can invite Michael. Karen really does want to get on a good foot with Ashley, so she's like, I know we've had problems in the past regarding your husband and all his indiscretions and booty grabbings and all that, but she wants to make it work with her and Ashley. So in order to do that, she kind of has to be open to Ashley's marriage with her husband. Ashley says she wants to be with her husband. If you're going to be friends with her, you need to respect her decision, and that's what she's doing. So I thought that was nice. And also Karen and Ashley discussed what Sing Sing was, the Sing Sing dig that Karen said at dinner to Giselle. And Ashley was like, what is that? We've been trying to figure out. And Karen's like, oh, Sing Sing is just a jail in New York, and I don't really know. It just sounded good. It was just something to say, something that just flew out my mouth. And it was like she did a blink that was kind of like, obviously there's more to the story than that. I honestly don't think it was just something fly out my mouth. Like, obviously there's something that you want to say, but you're not going to all the way out say it. So hopefully one day she does bring that up, because what, y'all was getting in jail for hooking or something? That's what I'm thinking. Like, you saw about she got a hot box from Sing Sing. Like, was she selling that hot box and then that's what got y'all ended up in Sing Sing? Like, Karen, that was not just a random dig. That wasn't just something that flew out your mouth. Like, sus, there's more tea on that. Stop playing. Like, you should never opened your mouth and said something like that if you wasn't ready to give us the full deets on that, because I don't believe that that was just a random dig. I'm sorry, I just don't. But yeah, then Dean wakes up and he starts crying or whatever. So Karen leaves. And the next scene we get is that Candace is home. She gets Karen's invitation with her bonus daughter, her stepdaughter, whatever, and she's, you know, kind of iffy about going. She doesn't know if she really wants to go because Karen hasn't really validated her experience with the fight with Monique. She still feels like Karen hasn't really, you know, had her side, had her back, so she's still a little bit iffy about showing up. So after that scene, we switch to Karen and Ray getting ready for the party. During that scene, the producers kind of show us clips of Giselle getting the invitation and throwing it out, which is so disrespectful, and Robin and Juan receiving the invitation, and Robin's kind of acting confused about being invited to a party, and Juan immediately was just like, count me out, not interested, which I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that Juan is just not feeling the group either. So that's interesting. Then we switch to Giselle. She's having a family dinner at her home. She discloses that Grace failed her permit driving test a few times, so she really wants to hammer in, you know, you gotta get your test so you can drive your sisters around, so I don't have to do it no more. She's really kind of pushing for her girls to be very independent, which I think is okay. I mean, the daughter's like 16, so get your license, boo, whatever. And then she kind of talks to the girls about dating and boys. She's telling them, you know, don't date rappers or athletes because, you know, you'll have to deal with their problems. And the girls instantly was like, yeah, that's the point of relationship, mom. Like, you're gonna be there through the ups and downs. Like, they're like, what the hell? But it's because they clearly never seen Giselle do that. Giselle pretty much just ups and leaves a guy whenever he has problems. They're kind of like, you know, what the hell? So they were kind of giving her a slight read about her past relationships and her dating habits. And it also is discussed that the girls are pretty much okay with the father and Jamal and Giselle not dating anymore. They pretty much are whatever. Like we've seen in past seasons, they weren't really the greatest fans of them kind of getting back together anyway. So it's not shocking that they're kind of like, whatever, that y'all not dating anymore. They probably wanted y'all to not date. So there's that. So then we get to Karen and Karen's party, girl. Mia and Gordon are the first to arrive. I love Mia's outfit. I definitely think she's, once again, one of the most stylish girls of the group. And Ray meets them for the first time. They get a good little talk about golf or something like that. Then Wendy and Eddie show up. I don't think Ray has met Eddie, so he was meeting him and stuff. And then Ashley shows up alone, pregnant as hell, talking about Michael stay home with the baby, but this time she's wearing sneakers instead of trying to fit her fat feet into some heels. So that's a good sign. At least she's coming in sneakers ready now. Then Candace and Chris show up. So they actually do show up, and Candace talks about how she was a little, you know, feeling a little awkward about coming, but she still does want to have a friendship with Karen. When she first gets there, Karen and her talk about setting up a time to just discuss things and really just have like a friendly chat so they can kind of get some type of understanding about the way each other feels right now. They agree to that, and Candace actually invites Karen to see her new home, which is a good step. Candace was saying, you know, she still wants to be friends with Karen. It's just gonna take some time, but she does still really respect the relationship, and she's trying to get over it. So she just invited her to check out her new home. Candace also gets to see Wendy's new body for the first time, and also meet Mia for the first time since, you know, she didn't make it to Wendy's dinner. So the girls are all sitting around talking now. Mia discloses that she's never had a vaginal birth and that all of her kids have come from planned C-sections. And, you know, this catches Ashley's attention because she's like, I thought, you know, you had clit surgery because that's the baby done came out and messed some things up down there you want to fix. And Mia's like, no, girl, me and my husband just get it in a little too much. So the girls are all kind of just like, oh my goodness, like, here we are talking about your vagina, and I think it's Candace who calls it a busted bean. I died laughing, child. They are all just like, okay, again, we talking about this lady's vagina. We just met her. Once again, new people in the room, and you love to discuss this vagina, plastic surgery or whatever. And, you know, the girls are still talking, but Wendy kind of calls out Mia for saying that Giselle has a good heart and that Karen is a real boss. She's kind of like, oh, well, how can she be a real boss, and how can how can Giselle have a good heart and all this if they don't like each other? And I just thought that was so weird. I really did not like Wendy in this scene, and it's really sad to say because, like I said, she's one of my favorites. If not, she's my top favorite, and it's like she was just being so kind of immature and catty in this scene. I was kind of over it. As they're going back and forth, Mia's like, she had to reevaluate Giselle's character after Karen said that Giselle wished death on Ray. Mia felt like she had to kind of reevaluate if Giselle is a good person after hearing that she may have said something like that. And Wendy was still just instigating because she was like, oh, but then you asked for her phone number at the end of the night. And it's like, okay, she's still trying to evaluate if she's a good person. She can't just go off what these ladies are saying. It would be great if she got to know Giselle for herself to really determine if she's a good person or not. So Wendy even just bringing it up, I swear to goodness, it was just so immature. It's making my skin crawl. Like, girl, stop. Like, I just was not feeling Wendy in this whole scene because it's like, why are you even bringing this up again? Why is this any of your business? Like, chill. Whatever, the girl thinks Mia should have showed more loyalty to Karen in that moment and not said anything about Giselle having a good heart or whatever. They feel like, you came here with Karen to Wendy's party. You came with Karen, so you should have just been staying on Karen's side the whole time. So Wendy and Mia kind of get into it, kind of going catty, going back and forth. Like I said, it was just such a lame and tired scene. I was just like, Wendy girl, let it go. You sound ridiculous. And so Mia in her confessional says that she thinks Wendy is pretty insecure and threatened. And it's not by her, like she's just having a issue and stuff, and that's why she probably got her body done, which I can see that. The way she's kind of acting and the way she keeps bringing up the fact that Mia has had so much done. It's like, why do you care, Wendy? Like, that's a whole nother grown lady. That's not you. So why are you so stuck on that? So she might be right. But Karen can see that the girls are getting kind of heated, so she's like, okay, enough of all this. We here for love, none of that. So she goes and grabs their husbands, and they all play a newlywed game. Ashley came alone, so she has to be the MC, asking all the questions. They ask each couple some pretty funny questions, about what their man's favorite sexual position is, the wildest place they ever had sex, and all types of stuff. If the men were attracted to one of the ladies in the group, who would it be? Which I was like, these questions, honey, are just too much. But they expose some things. One of the questions, Mia, about where each couple have met each other, her and her husband Gordon say that they met at a strip club where Mia used to bartend at. And in the confessional, Ashley makes yet another reference to this girl's clit surgery. And it's like, out of all the girls, Ashley seems the most stuck on the fact that Mia has had her vagina, clit, whatever, done. And it's like, every time anything is brought up about Mia, or Mia said anything, it's always like, especially with Ashley, I'm noticing that she loves to bring up this woman's clit surgery. Like, Ashley disclosed, last season that her and her husband, they get into threesomes. Ashley's attracted to both men and women. So I'm just like, Ashley, are you into Mia like that? Are you attracted to her? What's the deal? Because you keep bringing up this woman's freaking vaginoplasty, and it's like, can you stop? Like, you bring it up damn near more than she do, and she has no problem bringing it up. So it's like, Ashley, girl, calm down. Like, that just irks me, because it's like, Ashley, why do you keep harping on this woman getting her vagina done? You have enough money, I'm sure, to get your vagina done after you give birth. Like, chill. Oh, it's so crazy. Indy and Eddie end up winning the game. They got the most right about each other. They were pretty much spot on with each question. We just know, surprise, black love for the win, as always. Hello. And Mia and Gordon come in second. And child, in the confessionals, nobody seems to believe that Mia was just a bartender at the strip club. They tend to think she might have been a stripper. Even Karen, her friend, sitting here saying, oh, she did a move. I don't know if she could have been, actual stripper at that club instead of just being a bartender. And it's like, Karen, that is so freaking shady to say to your friend that you brought on the show. Like I said, all these old ladies just love to shade each other about anything and everything. They will. So yeah, the episode ends on that note. I have to say that Candace was the best dressed at the party. I did like her ensemble with the little hat, and I did like Mia's outfit. The rest of the ladies were dressed kind of basic. It wasn't anything to really marvel at, but I mean, it was just a small party. It wasn't like they were doing the upper echelon. But I did like Candace's outfit the best. And yeah, we'll see what's going on next season or next episode. But these ladies are just a freaking mess. They are just too much for TV sometimes. Like, they're annoying. I don't like how everybody's starting to be so catty so early on and just be kind of annoying very early on. It's not a good look for anybody. So let's hope they can get that figured out. I'm excited to see what next episode is going to give. So I hope this video will be a little bit shorter this time around. Comment down below who you liked was the best dressed this episode, and comment down below if you like this style a little bit better than the first style of video that I've done for this review. I'm still getting into it, y'all, but I think I like this style a little bit better because I could just read off my notes and go about there. Even though I said in my first video I didn't want to do that, I think that might end up being the best way, since I don't have to literally break down every scene by scene and give you my thoughts on it. Kind of just give you the overview, but I always feel like I'm missing something, so maybe blend the two. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I got for this episode review. You guys, like the video if you like the video. Please subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I will be sure to catch you guys in the next video, y'all. Stay tuned and stay blessed. Peace.